It's time to gather together. Hi there, I'm Yelta, and I'll be buying the first round while we chat about Final Fantasy XIV. This is episode 12. Pull up a chair and join us. On the menu tonight, we have lots of interviews from the Final Fantasy XIV European Media Blitz. So we've got some things to share with you about that. There are some developer blog and tracker items to go through. But first, let's shoot the shit. What's been going on this week? I'm going to start with Ruby. What's been going on?
Holy crap. So, you know how, you'll have weeks in the game that you don't do anything and you're like, screw this game, I'm not getting anywhere, I'm not doing anything, and you're super frustrated with your progress and stuff? That was not my week. This was like the chickens have come home to roost. Like, all the stuff that I needed to get done, except turn 13, I got a lot of stuff done. But first, I want to give a couple of shout-outs. I took some time off. I went to San Francisco to visit my brother. He does not play Final Fantasy XIV, so Nick, you need to play Final Fantasy XIV. Everybody tell Nick to play Final Fantasy XIV.
Nick, you need to play Final Fantasy XIV.
Thank you. So I went out there to visit and saw two good friends. Was hoping to see three, but one couldn't make it. But I did see Cerisian Palazzo, who is also a host on Sequence Break 14. So shout out to Cerisian, great guy. And then I also saw Azuru Mizuki, and she's in the Booty Link shell, amongst other places. Good player that's also on the Excalibur server along with Cerisian. So that was really cool. That I just love how this game has connected me to people outside of my bubble. I think, sisters, you probably feel the same way, that you've met and talked to people in other walks of life being connected through this game. Am I right?
I really love Kariri wasn't able to, but I was able to go to FanFest, and I gotta say, between me and my husband, who is super antisocial, hates people, even just today, he's like, man, I want there to be a FanFest. He goes, I want to. He now, through some discussion in the free company earlier today, he owes everyone tacos. So, but just okay. Kariri knows my husband. He's not Mr. Nice Social Guy.
I was scared when I met him.
He totally, he's just dying. He's like, are they gonna have a fan fest, and can we make it? And I want to meet those people again. And he wants to drink with Cerisian, and he just really connects with these people. Not super tight, but I'm completely floored that he remembers who people are. He banters with people in the free company. He sees them as real people, and I at least see all these people as real people, and getting to meet them just takes it a step further. So yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, I think what's important, people need to understand, it is a game. It is about e-peens and all that stuff, but you can take it a step further. And for me, it's about relationships with other people. And I'm happy to know people from across the country, even in other countries, and be able to go out and meet them. So big shout out to those two, and just happy to have gone out there. But as far as the game's concerned, biggest deal, I got my Nirvana Zeta complete. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. I love it. You know why you hate me? Because I took a complete week off of work, and I swear to God, from sunrise to sunset and beyond, I grinded for the dungeon drops. I got real lucky on the dungeon drops. I think the worst one I had was Desmal, and it took me like 6 runs to get it. But got all that stuff taken care of, which was awesome. The light is so easy once you get to the Zeta portion of it. It's a joke. It's like 6 hours of grinding at most.
With white mage Qs, yeah.
Yeah, well, yes, it's true. But RNGesus, for whatever reason, was like closing light windows on me, so it was really frustrating right there on that last stretch. But we got it done. It's great. You know how I suck and nobody ever gives me commendations? Well, by running all this stuff, I got my gold Magitech, so I must have healed something good. Also, by killing all those mobs, I got my Butcher's Crown. So
wow.
That was something. And then by running stuff for Poetics and Soldiery, I got the Onion Knight card. I finally got the Demon Wall card, and I got the Sahagin card. So I'll be getting nothing for 2 or 3 months.
So you're going to look pimptacular riding your gold Magitech with your Zeta and your Butcher's Crown on your way out to play with your new triple triad cards.
That's correct. Thank you, Kariri. You summed that up nicely for me. Okay, well, now I've sucked all the air out of the room with all that. So, Kariri, tell us what you did.
The silence was jealousy. It was overwhelming, and I just didn't know what to do with it. I did almost nothing. We've got some real life stuff going on here, so I haven't had as much playtime as I usually do. But I did jump on just long enough to do all the triple triad. So I went and picked up my tournament winnings, and I got like 18,000 MGP and 3 platinum packs, and there was nothing good in them. So I turned them in, and I spent all the MGP on gold triple triad packs and got absolutely nothing. I got a bunch of Geralts and
Battaron.
Oh yeah, I got
Emojis.
Battaron. I got one Ultima weapon, which I didn't need, and yeah, spent absolutely all that MGP on them and got absolutely nothing. I got 200 MGP worth of cards, I believe.
Oh God, out of 18K.
Out of 18K, yeah.
Gross.
Actually, it was more like 21K, but yeah. It was pathetic. Other than that, I kept queuing up. I really want to get my Dragoon to 50. It's the only Disciple of War I have that is not 50, and I'm at 40 something. So I ran some Fates for a little while, and I don't like running Fates, but I ran Fates while I was queued up for dungeons, and I never got any dungeons. And every time I'd get close, it'd be like, I don't want to wait any longer, and I'd pull myself out of the queue, and it was just depressing. So with the limited time I had this week, it was just not the greatest thing ever. I still had a great time though. I mean, I love playing the tournament, and I love getting into the game and talking to everybody and seeing what they're up to. And yeah, it was, I still had fun while I was on. I just didn't have nearly as much time to do stuff as I'd prefer. How about you, Yelta?
We did not do Coil. Coil usually takes up 3 of our nights a week.
See, that's what it is.
Right? So
too.
some of that, but I still logged in. What's funny is every week we do the what do you want to get done this week, and I make my list, and then I ignore it the entire week. But this week I did queue up, or not queue up. I'm scared of Duty Finder.
You're not the only one.
Party Finder, right? So, but there were some Party Finders that needed, a damage dealing spot. So I went, and I farmed turn 13 a whole bunch of times. And did not. The only thing I want is the casting ring, but no, I have tank drops, guys.
You mean turn 10, right?
I'm sorry, turn 10. Yeah. So I was.
I was gonna say, bitch, if you're farming,
She's
13.
farming turn 13. What?
No, see, my
Carry
brain is
us.
thinking 13 because we're doing that tomorrow. Yeah. So I farmed turn 10 a whole bunch of times, which it's apparently really, really easy. I got tank drops. I did, however, join some farm parties. I did Ramu, Ifrit, Shiva, Titan. I did get an Ifrit and Titan pony, so
Nice.
yay. So now I have Titan, Ifrit, and Garuda's pony. But so I still have more to go. I did what Ruby did. I did run dungeons and get drops, and I did get my Lilith rod. So I am 1 relic behind you.
Very
But
cool.
yeah, well, thank God, because if Ruby hadn't taken pity on me, was it Sunday or Saturday? We queued up together for whatever the light window was, and it was like bam, 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 and I'm like, man, this is easy. And then I tried to do it myself as a black mage, and that queue just won't fucking
See,
pop.
and I hate that for people. I would love to hear from listeners how your relic stuff's going. I would like to hear other people's journey down the relic road, because like you're saying here, Yelta, I'm taking it from a healer's perspective. When I queue up for stuff, it's seconds and then I have a pop. So it's really up to me. If I don't feel like running something, I just don't. And when I'm ready, I queue up and it's kind of done. But being a DPS, it's got to be tough.
Yeah, it is. I also did cap my poetics, which I didn't think I was ever going to
Yes.
get 900, but that really
very
went
cool.
fast. And honestly, I wasn't even playing Final Fantasy 14 that much these last 2 weeks. I played some, but I've been playing other games with my kids, and I've been doing other things, long motorcycle rides, that kind of thing. So, but I feel good about the last couple of weeks. So, all right, let's have the first round. It's the news. There's so much, guys. And of course, we're all really, really hyper and really, really ready for Heavensward. And the first place you should stop on the internet is go ahead and Google All We Know About Heavensward Doc. You can search on Reddit. That is probably the fastest. It's this really comprehensive guide, and I'm not going to read it all to you. We're not going to talk about everything. I'm really interested in what other people are excited about. So let's just start at the top. Well, we know all the release information, right? We've gone over that before. We know when early access is the 19th. We know, the actual live date's the 23rd, and then 2 weeks after that we're gonna have unlocks, and two more weeks after that it's gonna be like the extreme mode hard lock unlocks. So I think all of that we already knew. We've talked about the benchmark. I'm not gonna talk about it more. By the way, though, some of us rebuilt our computers. Did we talk about that?
Yeah, a little
bit. Our computers are better now.
Yep.
That's all I'm going to say.
The 11,000 scores and all that good stuff.
Get yourself a graphics card, guys. They did talk quite a bit about different interviews about the main story quests. Most of it we know already. And I'm going to skip down because, there's a lot of Ishgard stuff and whatnot. But what I found really interesting was some of the adjustments they're going to make to the current stuff, the 2.0 through 2.55 stuff, right? I think there's going to be a lot of new players, probably returning players. I don't know if we're going to have brand new players. Maybe some. Maybe Dark Knight's all they ever wanted to be. But they are going to adjust A Realm Reborn to make it a little bit more accessible for a new player to get into and get caught up. So one of the things they're going to do is main story quests are going to double, or sometimes it's translated to more than doubled. So basically, I think you're going to pretty much take your first job and just completely, go down that path and level up with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to get equipment rewards for that because, as you all know, Ulf was a late bloomer to the game. And he even did have to stop and gear up at certain points. So I think new players are not going to have to do that. The storyline quests are going to give you equipment that helps you. I bet it'll just throw it at you.
Probably.
Basically, you're going to equip it and be able to go into the next thing. So you're going to be able to go from being a new player to Heavensward without doing any side quests. All the gear from the main story, everything, the XP, it sounds like pretty much they're going to just fast track you. And honestly, if you just followed the main story quest, I don't know how many hours that would be. What do you guys think?
The 2.0 main story all the way up to 2.55?
Yeah.
Ooh, it's long.
It's fairly long, but if you don't have to stop to gear up, and if you don't have to stop, there are some lulls. There are some fetch quests in 2.0, maybe like right before Titan. I felt like there was kind of a lot of fetch quests going on. But, especially after 2.1 or 2.2, things really got I could take the day off work and finish the whole patch.
Yeah.
Right? So, and it's going to be fast-tracked now. So,
I think they did mention there would also be that lull that you also had in 2.0 where you had to, eventually you get to a point that you're going to have to do a couple of extra things to make up the experience at some parts.
Yeah, you'd have to run some fates or do
But
some...
that gets you... I mean, there's
dungeons.
a point to that. That's to get you involved with stuff outside of just doing the solo story quest. Like, you need to do a dungeon. You need to run some fates. Get with some other people and do something. Go see the world.
Other content, yes.
Go learn to play the game, because this game is very much... And some of us are, MMO players. We knew this stuff when we logged in on day one. We knew what these terms meant and what we were expected to do. This game was very much pitched. 2.0 is pitched at I'm scared of MMOs.
Yep.
Right. So, but and now I think they're going to pretty much fast track you through everything to Heavensward, but you still have to walk. You have to crawl before you can walk. So I really think that they are going to still make you play through the storyline.
Mm-hmm.
And some people are losing their minds about it, but I really think I think the people who are like, oh man, I'm interested in Final Fantasy XIV because of Machinist, I don't think those people are super in the majority. If you hated the game in 2.0, I don't think you're going to magically love it now.
Yeah.
So, anyway, they also mentioned, and this one's been kind of controversial, level 50, A Realm Reborn era will still give 0 XP. It might be adjusted at a later date. So it sounds like all the level 50 quests and stuff and dungeons are not going to give you XP.
Hmm.
I
See,
wonder
I
if
never
you.
even thought about that, but that's kind of sad because there's so many at level 50.
Yeah, I've seen this translated as just dungeons don't give you XP. Maybe you're expected to do, I don't know,
So you can't grind on the old dungeons to get to where
to get to 60.
get to 60 real
maybe-
fast.
Yeah,
I guess
wonder
I
if
can
that's-
see that. Force
Oh,
you to do the
okay.
real force you to do the new content.
All right. So that was that part of it. I guess we could talk about the interviews now. Or do we want to talk more about that doc?
Well, I mean, there's just so much in that doc, Yelta.
Yeah.
You just can't. That's why we urge the listeners, go view the doc for yourself. It's a living document, so as news comes out, there will be changes. And there's lots of Blue Garter has a lot of the translated interviews. There's a ton of places you can find this. Reddit typically, though, takes those articles and those things from other websites and forums and things, and the posts in Reddit usually have a lot more information. And this one in particular, it goes into great depth of the new jobs, new abilities, so much so that we won't do it for this episode.
No.
But it has the full names of the abilities. I'm sure we'll see more as we get closer, but there is just so much info out there. Urge you to go read it.
I do find that doc, it's pretty much condensed into bullet points within sections. So if you only care about, I don't know, flying mounts, there's a section that you can find all that in. Or if you only care about like the healing stances of Astrologian, it's there. So
God, there's some cool stuff. Did you guys read the Astrologian, like the cards? It's like,
I read some of it, yeah.
oh my God, there's a dud card. There's a bad card.
No, that was a bad translation.
Oh, that sucks. I kind of wish there was a bad card.
Yeah, there was another translation, unless there's been another translation. But after the dud card stuff came out, somebody was like, no, reread this. And in fact, I think I read that Yoshi P even said, no, there is no bad card.
See, it did not seem like a Yoshi P move to put a bad card. It seemed like a Tanaka move to put a bad card. But at the same time, I was like, ooh, does this go along with the, game's going to get harder type stuff? So,
well, these new jobs do sound a little bit more complicated, though, right? Don't they to you guys?
Mm-hmm.
It does seem like there's a lot more nuance to them, and there's some decision making to be made. It's not this ain't Paladin. You're not gonna 1, 2, 3 cooldown. There are choices you're gonna have to make, and it looks like there's a lot more to them, and I actually like that. I think it's a refreshing change.
Okay.
Well, to me, it points to taking the kid gloves off. I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm hoping our abilities from 50 to 60, even on Paladin, even on White Mage, even on Black Mage, I hope they really kind of mix things up and make you make decisions during the battle.
I think so. I think you're going to have to look at your party makeup, look at what abilities other people are using, and figure out what abilities are going to best suit the party. More party-based play. One other thing that popped out, and I think we talked about this. I know we talked about it with our friend Eddard, was the gap closers. For the Dark gets a gap closer.
Yes.
They can jump to a mob, and like, are they going to give stuff to the other tanks for that? I mean, that's just I played Knights of the Old Republic. If previous listener
did yep.
And so I talked at length about it in other podcasts, but the bounty hunter tank that I played. Yes, I tanked in the game. Had a gap closer. You could lunge at people and stuff, and it's like it was such a missing element from A Realm Reborn. It's just a cool feature that they're adding for. I hope they do something similar for the other.
It is a little irritating to me that still to this date, our friend Rayo on his monk can get to the mob faster than I can as the tank.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a fantastic move for a monk, and it's very monk-like, but damn it, I need to get there first.
Like, why can't Shield Lob drag the mob over or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how they can give an ability like that to Dark Knight though, without giving the other two tanks something equivalent.
This is why we need more information.
We need more information. Yeah,
I mean, I saw in a Yoshi interview, and I'm going to look for it while we're talking a little more, but I think he said something along the lines of yeah, it makes sense for those jobs to have it. So I'm gonna see if I can dig that out, and don't take my word for it. But
Well, give him
But
a
it makes sense,
jetpack
damn
too,
it.
because I had one when I was a
I'm
bounty
Boba
hunter.
Fett.
Yeah.
Were you Jango Fett or
my
Boba Fett?
backpack's got
Got
jets. Yeah.
jets.
I was Ruby
Oh
Fett.
man, that song's in my head now forever. MC Chris, I love you. Don't tell Wolf. Uh, but yeah, I don't feel like they can give a move like that. Well, and the other one, I'm completely going off the notes here, but did you guys read about how Ninja will have some sort of hate transfer abilities?
Yes,
right?
yes.
Right? I keep
love
thinking of
it.
like, I know it should be more going on keeping hate versus the black mage's gear is better than yours. You know.
It just
So, yeah.
it reminded me of Thief a lot,
Thief,
like trick
yeah.
attack
Yeah.
kind of stuff, sneak attack.
Oh yeah.
Sneak attack, trick attack, for sure.
All right. Well, specifically, let's talk about the interviews. The Famitsu interview. This is not all of the information.
Oh God.
They did
no.
talk about. Well, yeah, they did talk about the double XP in 2.0 stuff to help you get caught up faster. I thought the next bullet point was very interesting. Some people are worried about like zones crashing because of overcrowding. They specifically went out, and I think they made a branched quest or something, because both the Korthus Western Highlands and the lower level of so whatever it is,
Albalthia. I don't know.
Albalthia, are accessible at level 50. So you can choose where to start. So they're going to split people up for the main scenario quest. Later paths will converge. So I don't think it's going to matter which one
Oh
you
God,
decide
will I have
do.
to make 2 characters?
Oh my, don't.
No.
Do not get me started. I was on the official forums. I was waiting at work for someone else to get their shit done. And I was reading the official forums, and I swear to God, I have brain damage. Anyway, so yeah, they're going to split us up into 2 paths for a little while, it sounds like. I bet you get to do both, though, right?
Oh, I'm sure they
Yeah.
wouldn't limit us that
I
way.
mean, come on. You started in 3 different cities at the beginning, and they converge pretty early on. So
Oh yeah, you don't miss like major plot points by starting in one. I've started many characters and gotten them. I've gotten a couple to 50 in different city states, and you're not missing anything.
Mm-mm.
It's yeah. They did mention that. Okay, we're getting 8 new dungeons, right? 4 of them are associated with the main scenario, and 4 are unlocked by side quests like Karn today. I think Orumvale was similar.
Mhm.
To all of you people who are worried that brand new players are not going to be able to get queues for Satasha story mode, Yoshi P has a track record of sending us back to easier, older dungeons to complete Relic Hello, many other things. Don't worry. I bet they have a plan in
Oh,
place
God,
to keep us queuing up for that old stuff.
One thing I read was, and this was a great doc that Cinna had posted to our free company earlier today. It's about stuff you can clean up before Heavensward. I think we ought to go over that maybe in another episode,
Yeah.
but stuff that you can get to take care of before Heavensward. And this was kind of one of them, like cleaning up some of your old quests and things like that. And I think people will go back and try to clean up stuff before it's all said and done. But even after Heavensward, there's always stuff, like you're saying, where they keep sending us back to do some of the old stuff. And even if there's not stuff there, they're giving us even more options to queue with less than 4 people.
Well, and that excites me. Not that much, but because I really play the game to play with other people. But once in a while, I'm feeling antisocial, and I would love to grab Kariri and be like, "Let's go duo this dungeon."
I'm waiting for the
glamour.
addition of our chocobos.
That went through my head too, because they did talk. Well,
They've
and I
said
don't
it in the
think that-
past, not in this, but they have
not
said
recently though, right? They have not recently said.
Not in a really long time.
Not,
no,
it's
but,
been a
no,
while.
I love the idea of just, you and me or whoever feels like it, even if we don't have a 4th, to be able to go run some of that older content. And I think that's a great little addition.
And honestly, what are we grinding it for? Probably some glamour or
Probably,
fun
yeah.
or whatever. So yeah, they did mention that you can enter a dungeon with fewer than the required numbers of players just by having the party leader. There's going to be a new option for the party leader in Duty Finder. You won't be able to replenish rolls. There will be no level sync.
That's a big deal.
So that's exciting. So we can probably go in our I-200 gear or whatever we end up with.
Yoshida has never been against what's it called? Where you
Power level.
power
Power
leveling.
leveling.
He's
Yeah.
never been against power leveling. He allowed us to power level at the end of 1.0. This is it again. It's kind of that thing like, let's make the old stuff easy, so there's not a big deal. You going through it. The new game is 50 to 60, and 60 beyond.
And I have personally, and I usually hate this kind of stuff, but I have no issue with making anything from level 1 to level 49 or 50 solo or doable. How do you say that? Anyway, that doesn't bother me at all. And with our current glamour system, if I have to go and run Satasha 80 times, I'd rather not have to bother someone if no one's queuing up for it.
Yeah.
Sure.
By the way, can we please have a better glamour system?
What,
Yes,
like, are you
please.
talking about like the glamour chest or whatever we
my
were going to have at
God.
one point? Or...
I don't know. I've been reading. See, brain damage. I was visiting the official forums today, and one of the people were like, glamour systems in other games, and apparently even 11 does it better. Apparently Diablo 3 has an awesome glamour system right now. Well, and I remember in another, I don't remember what game it was, Aeon or Guild Wars or whatever. Basically, if you'd ever actually had the item or equipped it, you could just say, I want to glamour this like that.
Well,
That's
yeah.
it. That's it.
I mean, come on. I have a retainer that's full of old gear just in case I want to go back and glamour it. And it's come in handy. So I'm not going to get rid of that stuff because I may want to glamour back into it.
But eventually, with all the gear sets, you're going to run out of retainers to fill with your
Yep.
crap. So it's not the most efficient system of glamour system that we could imagine.
Yeah, why can't you unlock a glamour set? Like I can say, equip the blessed set because I've gotten all the pieces at one point. I've
Just
checked it off.
have a glamour encyclopedia or something. I don't know. It just
Or a second, like paper doll, where the first one is my gear, the second one, each slot is what I want it to appear as.
Mhm.
And
Dragon
just
Quest or
have a
something has
drop down box,
just like that. You
Yeah, or
basically
what was the other one? Neverwinter. One of them.
did Neverwinter. Dragon something I played. Basically, you had another tab, and you just dragged the stuff over there. Now, mind you, Kariri and I are very. I don't remember if Ruby is or not. Kariri and I are very much. We want the tank to look tanky. We want the mage to look magey.
Yes.
So I don't necessarily want it to break the equipping rules, but
No, I'm happy that I can't put on stuff that I don't want anyone tanking in a bikini. It's gross.
and that happens today.
And it
it's
happens
gross.
now. But I also don't want Yelta wearing my gear on her black mage. I mean, she should not be in my pink paladin AF on her black mage. That's just gross.
How about my Spriggan hat? I wear my Spriggan
That's
hat.
cute.
That's adorable.
I love
That's
your
part
Spriggan
of the
hat.
world, and is a gift from me. So I'm not going to
This Spriggan hat and butt wings, man. That's all I wear.
butt wings all the way.
All right. Well, we've digressed enough, I think, and bitched about the. I think they can do better. Is my point.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Speaking of dungeons, though, they have talked about how the existing roulettes are going to be shifted around. Hopefully they will make more sense now. I've always hated that only the 3 newest dungeons have been relevant, and then you kind of maybe do try. I'm hoping the shifting around they do will be useful. So they talked about the level 50 dungeons will be combined into hard, and the level 60 dungeons will be an expert.
I like this.
Is it just that 4? What?
Maybe, yeah, those 4, or maybe they'll give us all 8 once we unlock it. I don't know. I like this main story roulette, though, because it gets things like Keeper, not Keeper, but, well, I guess Keeper would match
Master
go in there.
Meridium,
Yeah, just the stuff that would you
Frustrator.
groan when they come up. You're like, oh, there's going to be new
Cute.
people.
Well, and I'll queue up for that, and I do queue up for that when I have time and patience.
Now, when you're farming light.
Right.
Although I like
right.
the extra soldiers.
They also talked about Alexander. I think we knew most of this already, but Alexander Normal, which is coming 2 weeks after release, is going to be harder than Crystal Tower, but not too difficult. You're not going to be one-shotting it, but you have to pay attention. The loot's going to work like Crystal Tower. You can run a turn as many times as you want, but you can only have 1 item a week. And that's 1 item per turn, right? So I could get is it 4 turns? I can
Yeah.
get 4 pieces a week, maybe.
I believe so.
That's awesome to me. Yeah. They're not giving us any information on Alexander Savage, however, the loot system. It won't be open until 4 weeks after release, and they're going to go over the loot system for that specifically in a future live letter.
Cool.
Gear, the patch cycle is going to be very similar to A Realm Reborn, where even numbered patches are going to raise the item level cap. Words are hard. It's going to be faster, though. So, we've been going, 10 and 10? Now they're going to be like 20 eye levels at a time.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, it's going to be fast. When you reach level 60, the first gear you're going to aim for is I-170. So, but that's going to be similar to Darklight when A Realm Reborn came out. And we laugh about Darklight now, but I keep thinking back, and I'm like, actually, when I logged in and played 2.0 for those first couple months, yeah, I was excited. I have pictures of getting Darklight. I'm like,
let me tell you something. Well, Darklight was only given to certain classes, I believe, in 1.0. I don't think everybody could get Darklight, right?
I think everybody had Darklight.
I thought everybody did.
But it was super rare. You had to speedrun dungeons or something to get extra chests. I don't remember.
Okay. Well, even so, it was completely rare, like you're saying. It was super rare, but it seemed like it was the next level to hit when 2.0 came out. I know I was wearing that Jester's hat that I was rubber banding mobs to get.
Oh yeah, the Imperial one?
Yes, the cap, and I was like so proud. I even had that little Jester's hat, which is complete crap now, and my relic body and all that stuff. And going into Coil for the first time, you both were there with me, and going into Coil for the first time, and like, oh, I have a Strategos body I can wear into this. This is a little bit better.
Oh my god!
Oh, I got some Strategos rings.
Do you guys ever go back? Okay. We were in a free company called Smokin' Aces, and we were doing a free company picture night. I still have those pictures, and I look back and I'm like, oh my god, what a bunch of fucking homeless people. I don't know.
Shit. I got a yellow top and hot red pants.
Oh
and
my god! I'm like,
hat and...
Archie's like, put on your best gear, and I did, and I'm like, man, it looks like
just sad.
If I saw somebody wearing that in a dungeon,
I'd slap them, man.
Oh my god.
Scrubs.
I do see that in a dungeon. I'm not gonna lie.
But anyway, so what are we at now? But you can pretty easily to get to I-110 probably.
Yeah.
Fairly easy, right?
Oh, fairly easy, yeah.
So by now, 120, I can get to 130, but only like on 2 characters. So it's harder to get to. So I-70, that I don't feel like my stuff's gonna be worthless. Super fast.
No, and I think they're being really careful about that. I think they seriously didn't want to piss off their player base and the ones who've been here, earning all that gear in, smashing their faces against Coil. So I'm glad that they're keeping everybody in mind. I think that's a good thing.
Especially when you work your ass off for an I-135 weapon and you're like, oh, so in a few weeks I'm going to be I-170?
Uh-huh.
Well, and I think you're going to get a few pieces of I-170. You're not going to be, I don't think you're going to be average item level I-170 immediately. We'll see what happens. I do remember in WoW, whenever a new expansion would come out, the fucking quest items for killing 6 wolves were better than the shit I spent hours and hours. Oh, yeah. So I'm hoping they're finding the balance there. The order will go Tomestones of Law, then Augmented Law, then Alexander Normal, Tomestones of Esoterics, and then...
Possibly Primals?
I can't remember. I have to look it up. I thought there was some sort of upgraded something in there. Then there's going to be Alexander Savage. I was a little sad that Alexander Savage gear is going to look the same as Alexander Normal gear, but you can dye it.
Yeah.
That's so... that's so cliche.
Really lame.
You can do better, Yoshida.
You can do better. I'm sure. Well, and they did say, not in this patch, but maybe 3, or was it 3? Somewhere in there, there's going to be crafted stuff too.
If I'm gonna work my ass in Savage, I want it to look like I worked my ass in Savage.
Even if my butt wings aren't best in slot, I can glamour them. So, but yeah. All right, we'll also have some crafting and housing information. Most crafting and gathering gear will be crafted. I do know they said something about getting some sort of, is it scripts or something that would let you buy token like gathering or crafting gear.
Yeah, I think that's going to come in a smaller pack. I think they talk about it a little
Is
bit
that
later.
the welfare gear?
The
basically.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right about that.
But the high level crafted gear is coming in patch 3.05. Which is when, the crafting scripts will be added. That makes sense. You're going to gain new gears as a crafter until 55. After that, the skills are only from specializing. We still don't know a ton about specializing. I know you can specialize in something, and you can switch what you specialize in, but it takes that new currency of the scripts.
Yeah, you can have up to 3, but then you'll have to spend scripts to switch them out if you want to do them for different classes. But you can still get your other crafts to 60 if you'd like.
Oh, yeah, for sure. They're not blocking us from leveling anything, it sounds like. It sounds like you're going to be able to level, but you might not be able to craft the most awesomest things without focusing on it. I think that's okay.
I think it's great. And we have free company members, I think we've mentioned before, that are waiting to see what the free company crafting is going to be like, the airship crafting, so they can capitalize on what will I specialize in that's going to make the most use for my FC and or the most money.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're going to need money because we need to have the basement workshop. They said it's going to be $1 million or not more than $1 million or something.
The basement workshop will cost less than 1 million gil, so 999,000.
I think we've almost or maybe already have that much in our bank, so yay. But there's going to be 3 components to the workshop. I think this might have been from earlier stuff. There's going to be a crafting stand for company crafting, a control stand for planning airship voyages, and a blueprint stand for creating new recipes. I don't even know what any of that means.
I don't know either, but Cinna got one of those.
But I'm looking forward to it.
Cinna got one of those ADS chairs, and we're not going to put it down yet, just in case this gets real Star Trek-y. Then we can throw one of those in front of it.
And I really feel like they're going to make. They already said something about crafting airship things is going to be if you have gatherers that can get the stuff in 3.0. It'll be easier. I think everything out of retainers today is going to be worthless. I think they're going to be here's all the new item tables.
That was another tip. Clear out your retainers, even if you have an emotional attachment. Go ahead and start wiping them out. I'm still hanging on to some of those Inferno tapers and Vortex headdresses and things from one point. I just don't want to get rid of it, but
I finally got rid of. I had a stack of 99 Inferno tapers, and I finally just threw them out.
I can't sell anything, guys, right now. This whole last week, I made maybe 50K.
Nothing I was putting up was selling.
Unless you're spirit bonding for yourself, you ain't going to be able to sell any of that crap.
And because materia isn't selling for anything.
They're waiting for 5s.
I know. Nothing is happening. So
yep.
I'm going to probably make sure I have room on at least one retainer. And once I see how Heavensward plays out, I'm going to just NPC everything. I don't know. NPC everything. There's no plans currently to increase the capacity of the company chest, but you'll be able to access it from the workshop. So free companies should clean up their company chests in preparation. And this is kind of funny. We had this issue in 2 other free companies I've been in. Mm-hmm. An entire first page of minions. Yoshi P's free company chest is apparently full of pudding minions from Wanderer's Palace. I still greet that shit when I see it.
They're cute.
I don't know why. Other stuff. Patch 3.1 and 3.2 will have improvements for the Wolves Den system, because Wolves Den is dead right now.
Oh my god. It's the worst thing in A Realm Reborn.
Yeah, so hopefully that will help.
I'm sorry, that was hunts. Hunts are the worst.
I hate hunts.
Okay, I'm with you there.
Well, okay, how they implemented it sucked, but how some servers decided to handle it is worse. But anyway, we're going to add matching based on points or rating or whatever, but there's going to be bigger plans, such as season-based ranking that resets with each patch. Highest ranked placers will get special titles and items. They want to end up with similar items to League of Legends, and that will probably be in patch 3.2. I downloaded League of Legends. I never played it, so I have no idea.
I don't know. He always says lofty things about PvP, and then it's like the most lackluster thing. Like there's no great attraction for me. Even one of our keenest PvPers, Zante, I think it's gone to the wayside for him to some degree. So I don't know. Maybe there's something that I'm missing with it, but there's got to be more of a draw for me to get me really delved into PvP. Maybe this is it, but it just always seems that Yoshida has these lofty ideas about how he wants to make it, and then he goes off and works on something else.
Well, and the rewards for PvP are so only good for PvP that...
Or glamour.
Or glamour.
Some of them are
Yeah,
glamour.
or glamour.
But the glamour items are too expensive.
Too expensive, and they're not that great.
Sorry, Kariri, were you gonna more of a comment
No,
there?
I was sneezing. I'm good.
Oh, I
I sneeze at your comment.
I sneeze at your comment. Yeah. Well, PvP either has to be fun, super rewarding, or I don't know, something.
Let's go.
And
here's my thing.
It's not.
Yeah, my desire has to be bigger than the queue, and it's not at this point. It's not even a close.
It also needs to
match.
be faster.
Yeah, I still want my Gridania pony from in there because it matches my Gridania outfit and sword and shield and minion. I need the horse, but I don't need it bad enough to queue for that shit because it's ridiculous. It takes forever because no one is doing it anymore.
I've never queued up and actually gotten. What is it? Not savage? What do they call it?
Secure, I think.
No, it's the other one, the unsecure one,
Oh.
the newer one. I don't remember. I've never actually gotten the queue to pop.
Slaughter.
So Slaughter, yeah.
Yeah.
Still haven't done it. So, and I've done all the. I like PvP if I can go in with friends, 2, 3, or 4 people. But the queue has to fucking pop.
Yeah. I enjoyed running it when it was us and Zante and a couple other people from the free company or, our link shells. But and occasionally we'd just go on a tear and try something new. Like we'd go circle around and just hit every camp clockwise or
fun.
something, Yeah, it was just, not even for the win, just for fucking around. You still get points for a loss. But yeah, it as long as we're with friends, it's always been a good time. But I just, yeah, it takes too long. The matching takes forever. The rewards need to be something more interesting. I don't know what they'd do. What could they do to make us PvP spokespeople? I don't know what the line is.
I don't know. Going back to the Old Republic, they had one of the most fun PvP. Now, I didn't play WoW, and I didn't play it. They may have better PvP systems, but the Old Republic had a freaking fun as hell PvP system. This game called Hutball. You were tossing a ball between players, and you had to get to the end zone with the ball. But to do that, you were using your abilities to either bind other players or kill them so they drop the ball and you could pick it up and all that stuff. And it really felt like I was cooperating with my team, but at the same time, I was killing the other team. And it was fun. It was fast. It was like minutes, like maybe a 3-minute game or something. It'd pop, you'd queue back up, and you pop right back in, and you do it for 3 minutes, and then you get out, and you pop right back in. And that's the part I don't, I would even do the shitty PvP if I could pop in for 3 minutes and pop back out and pop in and pop back out.
Sure.
But you can't. It's forever, and then it's shitty, and then you wait forever again.
Can you even? I have to go look now. Can you even queue up as that and something? Well, and that's part of the queuing system. I wish I could queue up for front lines and I could queue up for something on one job or whatever.
If I was fate grinding or something, I could queue for it as a higher level class and then go back to fate grinding on my low level. That's fine, but that queue's never going to pop. That's the problem.
And when the queue does pop, you don't have time to finish killing the thing you were fighting. That I've missed so many queues. I hate that. The next note was about a graphical note. Right now, there's invisible light in front of a player character that lights you up. It illuminates your body. That's been turned off for Heavensward zones to add more of a gothic atmosphere. They showed us there is a setting for you to. There's a slider. You can turn it back up if the dark looks bother you. So.
That's cool. We've talked about that, but I didn't realize that there was an additional light that made your character look so bright and cheerful in a Bloodborne.
Okay, there was an article in Vice Gaming. Is that a magazine? I
Well,
don't
you
even
know, if you guys don't know, they're on HBO. They do documentaries. I had heard about them prior to their HBO stuff. Vice does these really killer, like, deep down documentaries about like North Korea and some other, like, just some wild stuff. So
Oh.
Vice does some really cool things. I didn't realize they had a gaming addition to their journalistic things. So they have one. This gentleman spoke with Yoshida in the interview, and really there's not a whole lot of stuff that was new to it, at least not what I read. I thought it was just cool that Vice did the interview. But it does go through Yoshida taking over 1.0. I think there was a quote in there like Yoshida saw it and like instantly knew that there was no way to save it without redoing the entire thing. And played around. It went through some of the steps that they did to kind of fix some of the 1.0 stuff, but what 2.0 did to completely change the game and how it has become so successful. So it's some of the rags to riches thing, like the Time article and stuff. It was just a general article, but it was it's very good. And I mean, I can't speak enough for Yoshida changing the game the way it has.
Oh, yeah. Everything he's done for it and how he brought it back was amazing. Absolutely just amazing. And I'm glad they're getting the publicity out there because, you know, Yelta did mention, we don't know how many new players I don't have any idea what the numbers for that sort of thing would be. How many new players are going to show up because they added an expansion pack. I think it's more people coming back and stuff. But there are people, I have heard a couple people saying, you know what, I've been reading so much about this Heavensward thing and, I think I'm going to go try it out. So the marketing is working.
Here's the difference.
The interviews are helping.
They have the confidence now to really promote. When 2.0 came out, they didn't have the confidence. You had this shitty game that they were redoing. So all our server issues because they didn't have the confidence to pump a ton of server. Most of these MMOs start off with a crap ton of server. WildStar, another one bites the dust, Here, another game that I don't know about WildStar stuff, but I know when the Old Republic came out, there were so many servers, tons and tons of servers.
Oh,
and
God, yeah.
And A Realm Reborn did not start off that way. There was limited server space, and we can't do the housing stuff because of servers. And I believe them. I believe that they did not install a lot of servers. But now they have the confidence, knowing what they've known. They've made double their profits off this game. Now, knowing what they know, they can fully push it and say, we're going to make this work. And this is and the watchers, the listeners, people from the outside are like, well, wait a second. This looks cool. It's got good reviews. Some of my friends are playing this. This might be worth getting on board.
Do you know the article I want to read? The article I want to read is Yoshi P spends X number thousands of dollars buying more instance servers for housing.
I want him to get
yes, please.
each of us a personal server.
Oh my God.
That's what I mean. I think just legacy players, though. Just legacy players.
Legacy.
Legacy only.
Only.
And we lost half our listener base.
That's right. No, we need all of you. We love all of you.
Come back. So that was Vice. Did you have any comments about Vice, Yelta?
No.
Okay.
No. Good job. That's my comment.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for listening to us. There was another article about a Heavensward hands-on, Nick Wilson, PC Games.
Oh, and we didn't mention this, but these European journalists got the hands-on.
It got to and for hours, right? It wasn't 20 minutes.
Big time, and they were able to talk. That's why we're getting all this stuff, because they were able to sit there and actually bang it out and play it. So, and overwhelmingly, I felt like they all enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, I heard there was a bug or it seemed overpowered or what, and they're still working on it. But I really everything I heard was very positive. Things were fun. It's They really it really gave me that was the whole confidence thing. I have confidence that, and I kept reading a little bit more involved then. So I keep thinking that this is the patch. It's going to be a little bit more interesting than 2.0, or a little bit more involved, a little bit more complicated. But one of the bullet points was all the existing mounts that had the capability to fly, like Chocobos, Araman, and whatnot, can do it after a simple unlock in the game story. And they've actually also told us that they're adding other minions that don't really fly, right? I think primal ponies and some other.
Oh, like Kieran will fly right from the
Mhm.
get-go, and then the primal ponies at a later point will be able to fly. And get your pony. Yelta's on board. Get your ponies.
I'm working on it. You can fly in a zone, but you can't until you've attuned to the area by a aetheryte wind crystal. I think this, for me, answers the why is the ground completely useless because I can fly. So you're going to have to make your way through something first. It's kind of like the existing teleports in the game. I have to run to Korthus first.
Yeah.
Then I can attune to the crystal, and then I can teleport there.
I bet it's a long-ass run to that wind crystal. Better be.
I hope it's something. They did say that some of the open world monsters are going to be a little bit more challenging. You're not going to want to take on 2 or 3 by yourself. You're going to get stomped. So that's take a friend. It's dangerous. Don't go alone.
Zelda advice.
That's right.
Dangerous
take this.
to go alone.
Take this.
Take this. They talked about Astrologian. That must have been what they played with the most. That particular person. They talked about drawing a card, and there's 6 possible, and there's different unique effects. You can like bank a card or something and use it later.
Yep, like the spread and all that stuff. And I think this was the article that first said the dud stuff that got spread around. So, or one of them.
Yeah, number 6 in the article says 10% increased damage taken.
Right. So I think this may have been the one that got corrected later on because of the translation and stuff. So we'll see.
I wouldn't have kind of minded a dud card because, like, if you draw it, you could still bank it. But that meant you couldn't bank another card or something. I'm getting more into real life card games, as Kariri will attest. So I kind of think the card thing is kind of exciting to me. So,
but just think, like, you bitch that guy out. Like, you mean you spread on the party the 10% damage? Although it did say it was going to be like half taken if you spread that out. So if this isn't correct, then scratch all this. But if for whatever reason there is a dud card, they said that whenever you spread these effects to the party, it's halved, so it would have the negative effect. I know for sure it's going to have the positive effect on the party. At least that's what they translated.
I don't care. I'm going to blame the ninja.
Blame the ninja. First it's the fairy. It's that damn fairy.
First it's the fairy.
And then the ninja.
Then it's the ninja.
And the dragoons.
Yeah, the dragoon. Yeah.
I'll just blame Radiant.
Sure. He may be playing all those classes. We don't know.
This is why we can't have nice things.
We love you, Radiant.
We love you, Radiant.
Much love.
They did show the library again. The demon book is like the demon wall, but there's a trick. This
is the quote.
Read worded really weird. Yeah. Pray to a new and devastating move that left my jaw agape, and I fell to my doom. Well played, Yoshida. Well played. Yeah, I want to die horribly and be like, man, that was awesome. That's how I read that quote.
Yeah. Something like, oh, we need to hurry up and beat this book before it pushes off the ledge. Oops, we beat him too fast, and now he swallowed his whole, chewed off my head or something.
It's like the first time Demon Wall bitch slapped me.
Oh, my God.
Way back in the day.
We were ready to, well, some of us were ready to quit.
Oh, yes. No, I was ready to quit the game. I'm not saying I wasn't eventually. But the first time, it was like, what just happened?
Hey,
that was amazing.
I was farming dungeon drops, and somebody fell off the side, and he goes, I swear I've never fallen off before. Bullshit.
Bullshit.
Right.
Almost everyone. Okay, maybe not now, but back in the day, the first time you went in there, if you didn't read about it, no one told you, you fell off the fucking
wall.
You were going to. It's a given.
Inevitable.
Or died to the poison, maybe. That could have happened.
Bees. There's no more bees. Don't worry about the bees.
They put them in hard mode. It's still too easy.
Yep.
There's a scoop on the European Union servers. They did announce last year they're going to get server cluster over there. They're getting hardware. It should be up and running by the end of 2015. So I know there are a lot of you. I didn't realize their ping is like 20 times worse than
gross. That's what they said in the article, that they have super gross ping over there. And it's about time that European servers are in Europe and not in North America.
Oh, yeah.
I hope that comes along with free server transfers because it should.
It should. And they should use those servers up there for our free company housing. Right?
Yeah.
Well, in particular, Nofika's bosom members.
Just ours. They didn't need to name one server Nofika's bosom, and it's just for us.
Right? Please join our server.
This should-
There's housing for everyone.
It'll be our neighborhood, right? Right.
Yeah.
Britannia only, of course.
We own
Britannia.
Britannia.
We're taking over Sincere. Oh, all sorts of bad things went in my head.
And those will be up and running by the end of 2015.
Yeah,
That's
end of this
The
awesome.
year.
Nofica's Bosom server.
The
will be
Nofica's
up
Bosom
Oh
server.
no.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Biggins are coming your way.
Oh,
The end of 2015.
Big ones.
Be embraced by the bosom.
All right, what's on tap? Devblog and Tracker. There's a few here, so we'll just go down them quickly. Somebody wanted to know if the esthetician will allow you to change the limbal colors of the aura's eyes, and it sounds like yes, because it's in the same category as tattoos and accessories. I was hoping so because I was
pretty.
Well, I was playing with those, and I'm like, what if that's one of those? What if I don't get it right? I don't want to use a Fantasia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Can I piss both of you off for a second?
Yeah, go for it.
I forgot to mention that I also won that handkerchief of wit or whatever for my.
Yeah, you fucker.
What?
I
Yes,
won
for your-
the wit thing. What's it called?
Yeah, it's a handkerchief of something.
Which contest was that?
that was the take a picture of your aura. The show
That's
your aura.
awesome! Oh my god!
I had
didn't
like a
know.
GM letter, and I knew for sure I was banned for buying all that gill, and it totally was one of these wit handkerchiefs that I never wear. I put it on and took one screenshot and put it back in my inventory, just like the moonlit
Congrats,
earring and the
Ruby.
bluebird. But yeah, so
Nice.
So
Congrats.
cool.
I did enter it, but honestly, did you enter a male character?
I did.
Okay,
See, the
'cause
males
I-
are so much more better looking than the females.
Oh, but mine was just like everybody else's. I read from some people on Twitter that use
God,
the
no.
rain,
All the-
and yeah, I'm
all
just
the
a generic
female-
piece of shit.
But 90% of the female ones you see are the same.
Oh, that's true.
There's like a super generic female of each of the clans, and I swear to God, everybody just had the same colors and everything, maybe a
They
different
look like
hairstyle.
every damn anime vampire bitch I've ever seen in any cartoon. The little like,
And not in a cool
let
way.
me be your servant, sensei, and let me
Yeah.
sit on your lap and look real seductive, but also innocent at the same time.
That's the
Okay,
best description of them I've heard thus far. and it's
gross.
Spot on.
That's why I don't watch anime
Spot
that
on.
much.
And I even like them. We've talked about it in 2 podcasts, probably 2 episodes now. It's a common thread on the official forums. They could you have pushed it further, please? It still looks like a kitty girl without the stripes or whatever with horns glued on. The females are really generic.
They really are. Yeah. No, I'm gonna be. I'm a little disappointed at the females. I do think honestly for making them look different, just making the horns separate from the. The horns, let us color them, make them separate from the faces, and that would give us just so much more ability to change things up. That would be fantastic.
Some more variety, please.
Variety. Thank you. Exactly.
I wanted a slightly more monstrous face. The males have.
Yeah.
The males, again, we're repeating ourselves, but the males look like they are a different race. The females look like they're cosplaying.
Mhm.
Yep.
All right, but good news for those who are going to play Aura and want to dye their eyes. They did talk. This is one of our biggest.
Oh my
biggest
god, yes.
pet
Oh,
peeve.
this. Yeah, we have a large house, and 200 items is what you get. That's it. That's a really big house to only have 200 items.
Basically,
You can't-
shut your basement off because
Yeah.
you're not going to have enough
Yeah.
to put around.
So the dev team is aware of the numerous requests. They've talked about how it's difficult to give us details, but they haven't stopped considering it. They're going to let us know when they have more updates.
When they have more server space.
Oh my God! Buy some more servers. God damn it!
You know you
We're
got the money.
giving you enough money. Yes.
Buy some more servers and let us have. Oh, I think we talked maybe even 50 items would have been enough. 50 more items.
50 more
Oh yeah,
items would be
50 would have
great.
been comfortable.
I think we're at
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
196 with some cleanups that we've made of like some potted plants and things, but that's really pushing. That's with putting like 8 partitions in our basement to block
Yeah,
off.
half our
corner-
basement is
half our
unfinished.
half our basement is blocked off as if it doesn't exist, and even half of the space that we've got down there is not filled with anything. We need more.
Yeah.
We need more stuff, more room, more items.
Absolutely. No, we need more items. That's not even right. those who are going to play Aura want the naming conventions, damn it. They were originally aiming to release the Aura naming conventions in late May. They've prioritized the release of Heavensward, so they've pushed that back a bit. Guys, it's June. Come on.
They're really pushing it back.
Yeah, they haven't forgotten, and everyone's waiting patiently, very patiently for it. Guys, as of this recording, it is almost June 9th. The expansion comes out in 10 days. Hurry up.
Well, yeah, people need to name their characters, especially if they're going to start an Aura from square one. They're going to want the name. I mean, that's pretty.
Our peers probably are chomping at the bit. I mean, they've got lore all ready to go for their new character and all that stuff, and they can't get started.
There's some people super into that, and that's part of their enjoyment of the game. And yeah, I'm assuming they've talked about it. They probably have it down on paper. Just, I don't know. Push it out, guys.
Squeeze it out, Yoshida.
Squeeze it out. Okay, we talked about this a little bit earlier. There's going to be no level sync when entering a dungeon with less than the required players. Just for clarification, this system is not going to remove item drops. It's not going to, you can still get minions, glamour items, and the items for your Zodiac weapons. There's no item level sync, so you can just basically go in there and bust it up solo if you want, I guess. On the other hand, if you're looking for more of a challenge, okay, this excited me a little bit because we've done this on purpose with like some of the primal battles and whatever. We've actually equipped ourselves in the lowest gear you can have to get in. And they're going to give us another feature which will sync us to the lowest level set for the duty. So I think it would be fun to go back. We forget when we're in our I-130 that, AK was hard. Well, they've nerfed that one so much. Yeah. It's a bad example. But some of those dungeons
Ferocious.
Yeah, well, they nerfed that one terribly too. But yeah, Ferocious is a pretty good example. You can still, even, still today, you can wipe on that first boss.
I have.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think that's interesting. I like more options, more, most people are going to run the path of least resistance. They're going to run their strongest geared character, solo or duo with their friend's strongest character. But, especially if it's not a whole bunch of dev time and it's not too hard to do. Yeah, sync us to the lowest eye level or whatever for the duty and let us see what it's like. Make us work for it. The dev team is looking forward to seeing how everyone uses those new features and create their own unique challenges and group events.
I love this part.
They plan on using what they see as reference for future development. So, yeah, they're watching us, guys. Big Brother's watching you.
Watching you, what you do in the dungeons.
You are peers. I get nothing.
Stay out of that cell in Sastasha.
Oh, baby.
Chain me up.
The next bullet point is fun for me too. Somewhere, and we can't remember where.
I can't find it.
I think 2 or 3 of us have said we've read this somewhere. I swear to God, they said somewhere that they're gonna add time trials to the dungeon, where maybe at reset or whatever it would reset, but it would basically say you cleared it in 28 minutes. The fastest clear is 24 minutes.
Yeah,
by
like
whoever.
11.
Did 11 do that?
I think they did
something I did that. I don't remember now.
Well, when you did the BCNMs, it did.
Yeah.
That.
Oh, yeah. I remember that now.
Yeah. So something like that is, and not for, yes, it's for EP measure it, but it's not something where you would shame somebody. You can't really shame somebody because they didn't finish a dungeon fast if that's not what they're going for. But if that's your challenge for your group, if you say, hey, large free company, we're doing a thing. We're going to pair off into groups of 4, and we're going to see who can clear Sastasha the quickest. And whoever wins gets this minion I paid for out of my own gil. That's cool.
That would be fun.
That's a fun thing to do. Or, hey, free company, we're going to low-level sync like Yelta suggested, and we're going to see how many primals we can beat in the same eye-level gear. See if we can do the mechanics. And if we win, we'll do something. Just something fun. This is meant to be fun stuff. I don't see, the players can find a way, I guess, but I don't see anything here that's like, my EP's really large and you can't clear this dungeon as fast as I can and you're a scrub and I'm not. I mean, yeah, anybody can do that, but these seem like really cool tweaks that'll make things fun for the free companies and other groups to make their own events.
Well, free companies like to do events. I know Denmo, not even a free company. How many times has done Lalafell marches?
Oh my gosh, we love
right?
the Lalafell
Those are
March.
so fun.
The videos. There's a free
yes.
company. Oh, tell me, help me with in the free company name. Maybe it's Please Be Careful. I'm not sure on Excalibur. They do. There's a campfire party that's on every Friday night. That's in Costa del Sol on the North Beach, and everybody comes
I
out.
don't know about that.
Oh my God! There's everybody. I found out about it last week. Everybody goes out and hangs out by the campfire at Costa del Sol on Friday nights, and there's a free. I think it's Please Be Careful. Forgive me if it's not. If you're a listener and you are of a free company that does that, let us know. But there's a free company that does that. It's just amazing little cool stuff that you can find in the game, and the things like this add to the enjoyment on a personal level.
Definitely.
We need a site that actually lists those, man, because that'd be fun.
I
I'd
would love
come out on
to
a Friday night and hang out and chat with people.
I'd love for us to have a website that had all that stuff.
Cough, cough.
Cough. I had to cancel our last one, and
it had a bad name.
It had a bad name.
It had a terrible name.
I disbanded the link shell. Did you guys notice?
Oh, I didn't notice. Well, I
yeah.
must have because I have an additional link shell in its slot.
Yes. We've talked about it before. I think we were gonna do the Crystal Braves as a link shell.
Pre 2.5.
Yeah.
May they rest in pieces.
Yeah.
May they continuously be blown up by Kariri every time she enters
Pew, pew.
Mordona.
Every time. I actually had someone cheer me on the other day.
When you were doing
That's
it?
great.
Yes. I went and stomped on him, jumped up and down a couple times, and then shot him, and someone cheered for me. I was very excited.
Other things people are excited for, not in a good way. The Heavensward pre-order on PlayStation Network, specifically the European one, right?
Yep.
It's MIA.
Oh boy.
There is some sort of issue in the EU PlayStation Store, and
due to circumstances outside of their control, they could not get them the pre-order or the early access. So here's what they're doing. I'll read this. From Friday the 19th until June the 23rd, 2015, a special version of Heavensward will be made available for a limited time that will allow you to take full advantage of the early access period and obtain the bonus in-game items available to those who pre-order. We realize that this will require you to purchase and download the game on the day that early access starts, but this was the most practical solution possible, and we hope this will enable you to use your time as effectively as possible given the circumstances. Wow, that's gross.
Oh, it's awful. Oh.
Even in the US, Ulf is so worried about, we have that week off. He's so worried about being able to download Heavensward. We have crappy internet on my PC and on his PS4. Are we going to be able to log in? And I'm like, we'll be able to log in. They're going to put it up early. But you poor people in the EU, what the fuck? You can't even start your download. You can't even purchase it till early access.
And I'm sure nothing terrible is going to happen when that many people from Europe try to buy it at once.
It'll go so smooth on the 19th.
Oh,
smooth
I'm
as
sure.
silk. Like everything that Square Enix has ever put out as far as signing up and joining and do something. Ugh.
No,
I'm so sorry, Europe.
Is this a Sony thing then?
I think it's a
really
Sony problem.
Sony's fault?
This little clip in the notes right here is from a much larger article. There's a much larger explanation about this, or they try to explain it, and they really are sticking it on the European PlayStation Store that they just weren't compliant with some of the ideas or things, or they didn't get things in place in time. Whatever the case may be. It blocked people from being able to get that early access unless you buy it on the day of early access. So everybody, when that clock strikes 12 on the 19th, are going to be spamming trying to get this thing taken care of.
Oh yeah, I remember the great pre-order of Heavensward of 2015. I just I remember hitting 8.
Or FanFest tickets. Holy
FanFest
crap.
tickets. Holy crap. Oh, I wish you guys all the best because damn, I feel for you. But you'll get new servers soon, right? That'll
Sure.
be good, right?
And they got the media blitz. Maybe this was, hey guys, we're gonna do a media blitz, but you won't get early access.
But you're fucked. Oh my goodness. All right, that is the majority of the news. I think we're gonna skip taking shots tonight. The official.
I'm wasted.
I'm wasted. The official forum did have some fantastic posts, but I think we kind of covered some of them.
And by fantastic, I believe it might be possible you're being sarcastic.
Fantastically train wrecky.
Train wrecky. Oh my god.
I don't know.
My eyes, my brain.
I did see a cool forum post that was kind of goes in regard to the whole like no level sync. I watched somebody did Keeper of the Lake solo on a Scholar. It was on YouTube. There was a link to a YouTube video. It's actually pretty neat. I didn't watch the full thing because it's a little boring, I guess, to watch somebody solo through a whole dungeon. But the fact that a player right now could solo Keeper of the Lake as a Scholar is pretty wild.
It's really interesting.
So, that's maybe some of the stuff we can look forward to when we get some of these new features.
All right, happy hour. We got nothing. I don't think anyone asked us any questions or gave us any fan mail, but that's okay because we took a week off. Remember us next week. Oh, what did we say we wanted this week? We wanted them to tell us
what from the big, huge post did they want to know more about or was most interesting to them. If you go to Reddit or Google and type in all we know about Heavensward doc, DOC, and go through the list. It's got all the jobs. It's got all the information about the game. It's got the skills and the crafting and the zone information and basically everything that we know about the game at this point is in that document. Tell us what interests you most. Tell us what you're most excited about. Tell us what you want more detail about. Tell us. We'd love to hear from you.
Tell us what you're scared about. What are you mad about? What's not in there? I don't mind going,
either way.
Tell us the exciting things, but I'd like to know what you're worried about too. All right, last call. Do we have any additional shout-outs? I know we talked about the Reddit thread. I might not have mentioned it while we were actually recording, but I've been using the bluegarter.com site a lot. There's been some really good translations. All those translations have had a lot of conversation and whatnot. I hear crickets.
Very cool. I think it's great, but I haven't gone anywhere else.
You were on vacation.
I was on vacation.
Meeting me at Light Farming.
Well, and I talked to lots of people out in the San Francisco area about the game. There's people. I went to a damn musical, and one of the guys that sat next to my brother played Final Fantasy IV. He was a buddy of his, but it's like we just started talking. He's like, "Oh, I play 14 too." I was like, "Oh, what do you play?" "Oh, I play a monk predominantly." "Oh, what eye level you at?" "Oh, I'm about like eye level 90. I'm like, "Oh, have you done this?" "No." "Have you done this?" "No." "Have you heard about a podcast named GTFFXIV? Have you done, and it's just like you get to talk to people in social situations and people know the game or some people play it and some people don't know. "Oh, you mean that's coming out? That's going to happen?" And that, there's buzz. There's a big buzz. So I'm
definitely
It's
looking forward.
coming. I started thinking about next time we're taping this. I was just looking at the calendar going 5 days from if we're recording next Sunday night, it's going to be 5 days till early release. And I just can't even. I am so excited
I'm
to
gonna
finally
have my pants
get it.
off for the next episode.
No pants.
No pants episode on the
No
next
pants
episode.
episode.
It's
We're
going to
naming
be
it now.
pantsless GTFFXIV. Yeah. That should be a hashtag of some sort. But, I can't wait. All this talking about it. I mean, I love all the information and I love that we get these little tidbits and stuff, but I'm ready to be there, man. I'm ready to be in it. So I'm super psyched.
I'm not prepared. I wanted to have my ninja to 50 and I don't know if I can do it. And
You can do it.
I wanted to get my my Lilith rod upgraded and I don't know if I can do it.
You can do anything. We're going Pantslessward.
All right, pantsless. Victory,
Pantslessward.
man. All right,
like
it's closing time. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. You can find us on Twitter at GTFFXIV. You can email us at gtffxiv@gmail.com. Our recordings can be found on SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/GTFFXIV and iTunes. You can search for us using Gather Together or GTFFXIV. I think I already asked for plugs. Oh, wait, personal plugs. Ruby, you got any personal plugs?
Sure. You can find me on Twitter at Rubicon Vale, RUBICONVALE.
Kariri?
I am at Kariri Sumasu, KARIRISUMASU.
And you can find me, Yelta, on Twitter also at Yelta Sumasu, YELTASUMASU. And the hashtag for the week is
Pantslessward.
Pantslessward. I want to see this, guys. I want to see this every day for the next week.
Let's do it. Let's get this out there. Pantslessward.
I am all over this.
Take them off.
Take 'em
What
off.
is that? What was that game show? It's like the secret word is Pantslessward. Is that like
I don't remember.
one of those $1 million pyramid type games?
I have no idea.
Well, that's the secret word.
The secret word is
Pantslessward.
Pantslessward. All right, guys. Have a good night.
Good night.
Goodbye.
Night.
Bye.